play is about a team of teenage girls called the Wolves, and the play takes place over 6 weeks just before a game.
It's all 16-year-old problems. One girl gets invited to a birthday party and then gets abandoned by her friend. One girl is new and moved here and she's considered the weird girl. The playwright was able to inject humor into a show that ends up being actually quite tragic.
The things that are just theoretical for them at the beginning become much more real to them.
There are moments where you remember what you were like when you were 16. It brings back memories and it makes you laugh because these girls, they really are funny.
Number 11 is the brainiac of the team. She is very intelligent. She knows a lot about current political events. She knows a lot of information that most normal people probably wouldn't know. She's not very great socially, and so she just kind of uses her knowledge as a way to make friends, which I think a lot of people do subconsciously.
Number 8 is a 16-year-old soccer player. She's very naive, she's very innocent, she's ridiculously childlike and wants to stay that way, loves bubbles and unicorns and sparkly things. And she's kind of ignorant, but not out of hate, just doesn't want to think about the scary stuff.
46 is the new girl on the team. She has a very big cultural disconnect to all the other girls, being that she's never permanently resided in any place. The biggest thing for her is she has this confidence about her that's so natural to her, something that she doesn't have to try at, which I think is probably because of how much she's traveled in her life and how she hasn't been used to a normal environment. So she acts how she acts and she doesn't try to fit in, she just kind of presents herself as she is.
I played 14 years of soccer.
I played soccer for about 10 years before this.
I played for 15 years. My dad was my coach.
We've been training for 3 months, I think.
It has been such an amazing experience.
So many of the girls afterwards were like, I think I want to play soccer.
My worlds are colliding.
This show really makes me pay more attention to people, but there's a lot of conversation and subtext that happens below the surface. So the more I watch it, the more I realize what's happening, the more I see the relationships forming, and that just makes me pay attention to that in real life.
This juxtaposition that you find between having these larger scale conversations at the same time as having conversations about their period.
High school aged kids go through so much and they are feeling so many different things, and it's important that we acknowledge and respect that as a society.
This show changed my perspective kind of for women and people in general, that I think we have this tendency in life to cast stereotypes. I think every single character in this show has so many deeper layers to them that you don't see at the very beginning.
I hope that the audiences take away a new appreciation and respect for teenagers, for young girls, and for young female athletes. Everything is really, really high stakes. You don't know what is going through their heads, so just respect what is going on in front of you, regardless of how much you know about it.
I hope that the audience sees the same thing that I do in the connections that the girls have formed. This really is a show run by women.
Every single person's mind is just going, and it's so collaborative and supportive, which I think is something that you don't always see in traditional theater. Everybody's voice is heard and everybody's voice matters, and I think that kind of energy is what keeps all of us so excited to come back and do this show every single day.
I mean, it doesn't really matter how many times you read the script, that talking with each other and collaborating, you just discover so much more, and I think even now we're still discovering everything, so it's been such a great experience working with this cast and how hard their brains are powered and thinking and putting so much passion into this.
It's so exciting to be really celebrating female individuality and female empowerment.
Generally, when you see them in media portrayals, you don't really see a three-dimensional portrait. And this play really does that in a way that honors them.
I think the show is a really lovely feminist anthem.
Just like all the characters, we all have our really big differences, but at the very base level, we all have our similarities in identifying as females. So it's really cool to see how much we relate to them, as well as bringing our own selves into this process and lifting each other up throughout the whole thing.
It's been a really exciting and amazing ride, and I've really appreciated everyone's hard work.
Thank you to everybody for making this a very unforgettable final main stage here at Fredonia.
Come ready for something new, a window into a world they wouldn't necessarily see otherwise.
Go Wolves!